Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Wolveswood. Today we're going to be reviewing the pack True Steel, and we have a special guest with us today. It's the Prince of Martell. He just won the Wisconsin Regional undefeated, Brandon, aka MN Broncos.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on today. So tell us quickly about your tournament you just won.
Well, I posted the deck online already. It was a Martell Lannister deck. Just standard curve deck. Uses first note very well and then controls the board after that.
And from what I saw, you pretty handedly won most of your matches, which is awesome.
I had about one close game. That was about it.
All right, we're going to go through the pack card by card. We're going to go through... We like to go through the order that the cards are in the pack, so you guys can follow along with us. The cards will also be up on the screen. We do ratings out of 5, and then we're going to combine our ratings at the bottom so you can see an overall score. So first up, we have a start card, Septa Mordain, a unique 3-cost star character with an intrigue icon and 3 strength. With the 7 trait, it says while you control Sansa Stark, she gets +2 strength and gains renown. Arya Stark, she gains an intrigue icon and immune opponent's +X. And to be clear, it's saying Sansa Stark gains X and Arya Stark gains X. It's not the Septa that gains these. So what do you think of this, Brandon?
I'm kind of torn with her. I feel like she can be good, but she's also not great. I feel like since Stark already has their box out, they have a larger card pool than most houses. And even when they get just a few more characters with intrigue icons, I see her maybe not fitting into decks. But the fact that you give Sansa a character that you're already playing, Renown, so in those decks that are trying to get Power Rush, it can be pretty good. And then Arya Stark, you're always playing ×3 pretty much of.
And you're talking about the 3-cost one, right?
The 3-cost one, yeah. Which also is actually kind of interesting with her. If the 4-cost one does start seeing play, the gain an intrigue icon doesn't do anything. But
and the immune +X might not matter because you might have already triggered her sacrifice ability.
Exactly. So
I really like this card. I think I like it a little more than you. I like that it has an intrigue icon. It'd be nice if it had 2 like Lewin, but I see that they gave it a strength boost compared
which
to Lewin.
Could actually be more important for Stark because the intrigue is what they need.
So now there's 2 Sansa Starks to play. There's the one that will stand up and give you a power.
Yep.
I like it. First Snow makes me a little less...
Yeah, First Snow makes me not like that one.
But it's nice to get that +2 strength and renown, so she might be getting 2 power a turn for you. And maybe even 3 if you have Lady attachment out and you're standing up. And then there's also the other one, which I like slightly more, because she can become a 2 for 6 if you have no dead characters. Yeah. And that having renown is huge.
Actually, though, I just noticed this. With her out, the new Sansa will never have insight, because she'll always have like at least 2 strength. Or actually, never mind, because it keeps getting minus.
If you have 6 dead characters. Yeah. But yeah, I think just the 2 for 6 early if you get these 2 out, which is nice. Would you rate this card?
I gave it a 2.5. I could see it it's like close to a 3, but I just see it fading away fairly quickly.
I agree with you, but I'm going to go slightly higher with a 3.
Okay.
All right, so next up we're going to have a card that I don't know if it's as good as Septa, but you want to read that one?
Sure. All right, so we have Ward. It's a 4-cost, non-loyal, condition attachment.
Unique,
yep, which does matter. With the text, so you attach it to a character with printed cost 4 or lower. It's terminal, and you take control of attached character, and the attached character also gains the Stark affiliation.
This is like freaking bonkers. This is removing target removal of a character, and you're gaining a character.
Yeah.
So it'd be like one thing if think about Crown of Gold. You're paying 4 gold to kill a character for a card that's limit 1 in your deck. This you can have up to 3. I don't know if you go that crazy, but you're paying 4 gold to essentially take their character, take control of it. You gain that character, and then you could. There's cards like Jon Snow where you can sacrifice it before they even think about using a getting rid of that condition attachment.
It seems ridiculous to me. I don't want to compare this game to First Edition too much, but it seems like a better version of a card that was restricted in First Edition.
And this is non-loyal, so other houses can start using this.
So you can ban it to the Stark for it. Yeah, it's crazy.
What are some of the key characters? Like, to me, the ones that really pop out are Cersei and like Theon levels of characters.
Or in a mirror match, taking your opponent's cat.
Yes.
And
they gain the Stark affiliation too, which is nice. So you can use things like Jon Snow.
Or you can just take a Gendry for the win. The one thing with it that could matter against some decks, like I know like the deck I just played at Wisconsin, this wouldn't hurt it too bad because like the 4-cost armies, those will have like no attachments. Yeah. So that is something. But Yeah, with cards like we'll see later, like Ill and Pain and First Snow. I do wish it was just 3 costs, and I wish like 4 costs and higher was like the
safe number. Yeah.
But
I'm gonna give this card a 5 out of 5. This is really good.
5 out of 5. The condition attachment may make it worse when the card pool grows, and you have more ways to deal with that. But
and it's nice. We'll get to it, but there's also a card that deals with condition attachments for every house. So we'll get to that. But yeah, you're giving it a 5 as well.
I'm giving it a 5.
All right, moving on to Tyrell. We have Butterbumps. He's a unique 2-cost Tyrell character. 2 strength with an intrigue icon, and he's loyal, and he's a fool. He has insight. This seems really familiar so far. Forced reaction. After you lose a challenge which Butterbumps is participating, discard 1 card random from your hand.
Yep, so I think this card is going to be a lot like Moon Boy, where you just put it in the deck. I mean, you get card draw out of it. It's a nice cost for what you're getting. And the force reaction is usually not a big deal because unless your opponent has some weird trick, you just don't put it in the challenge unless you're winning the challenge. So it's just a good, solid chump character.
I think solid's the right word for this guy. I'm not sure how... I don't play Tyrell too much, but I'm thinking, is this mono intrigue better in Tyrell than the mono power in Baratheon or not?
I think if Tyrell had their own... like Red Keep type card, it would be. But the fact that the Moon Boy can be in challenges as like a 4-strength character makes that better.
Yeah. I'm going to give this card a 4. It's a solid character. I think you play ×1 in every Tyrell deck.
I'm giving it a ×4 as well, just because...
Or a 4.
What's what I
said?
Not
×4. Yeah, 4. Play 4 copies. Don't do that.
All right, so we have a 0-cost event called A Gift of Arbor Red. It's a Tyrell event with the House Red Wine trait. With an action, kneel your faction card to have each player reveal the top 4 cards of his or her deck. Choose 1 card revealed by each player and add it to that player's hand. Shuffle the other cards back into their owner's decks.
I'll let you get into the comparisons of this card versus the first edition card, but it's interesting because you can look at the top 4, give your opponent the Rose Road or whatever and you're getting a better card. And the cards but their opponent's getting card advantage, so you can look at the top 4 cards of their deck and it's like, well, crap, there's only 4 good cards in here, and maybe I'll get a good card too, but they're gaining a card. I'm just replacing a card. I don't like that it has a faction card, Neil. I think it's not that powerful, but maybe they don't want to have it so you can keep playing 2 of these in a turn.
Yeah. Yep. So that was like one of the things I was going to point out about it that makes this, like, I don't want to underrate it too much because I underrated much more like a lot of people did. And this is almost the same card, but there's a few differences that makes it worse. The Kneel Your Faction card, like you said, makes you can't like play a gift and then like pick another gift to play that one, which actually was a play you could do with much more. The other thing is we don't have pre-plot actions now. And without going into too much detail, like that's what also made it really good in first edition was you could do it before you even play a plot card, which had some silly interactions.
Part of me likes that this is a Tyrell only event, whereas the first edition one was neutral, so any house could play it, so it opened the door for broken things in different houses. Yeah. Whereas if this is in one house, it's easier to confine and not make it harmful. True.
Loyal. But
what would you rate this card?
I'm giving it a 3. I do still think it's a good card, and I think like Baratheon's known as like a house that has really good card draw because it has the red keep and it has that dominance one. But it does seem like Tyrell may be like the house that's best at like getting the cards they want.
All right, I'm gonna give it a slightly lower rating at 2.5. I do like the art a lot though. This is the first art that's jumping out.
And maybe House Red Wine becomes a thing too. So.
Yeah. All right, next we're moving on to Night's Watch, everyone's favorite faction. Sworn Brother, he's a non-unique 2-cost Night's Watch character. Power icon with 1 strength. He has that all-important builder trait. No attachments except weapon. Reduce the cost of the first location you marshal each round by 1.
So I actually really like this guy. The fact that he's not loyal, I think, makes deck building really interesting, especially when the card pool grows. Like you can actually already like Bandit at Night's Watch and like Greyjoy that's already playing a bunch of locations. You're gonna get a lot of economy long run with it. They're not loyal, so they can stack. Being able to play like locations that it costs 2 for free every turn seems like that can end up being really powerful.
I think he's interesting. He's playable. I just want a 0-cost limited location that reduces everything already. It feels like they're just constantly tiptoeing around that and trying to bring out other cards. What do you think this comboing with your gift? Brandon's gift.
I I mean, if Brandon's gift will ever be playable, Sworn Brother will be a key part of that.
Yeah. I'm going to give this guy a 3. I think he's interesting. If you have something like Sir Alistair out, he has 2 icons. He's going to die. It's another card that gets hit by first snow. I'm going to rate him kind of inside the Night's Watch bubble, not compare him to other houses,
Right.
and give him a 3.
I actually really like this guy. I'm giving him a 4. Because he's not loyal, just means when the card pool grows, and even right now, like, I'm just picturing, like, because I like play Martell, you can get 2 of these out and you're playing Gas and Gray for free every turn.
I'll concede that he's going to get better and better.
Sure.
All right.
But he's not great in, like, the I'm just going to defend the wall deck, but...
Up next, Cam?
Am I reading this one?
Yep.
All right. So we got a 2-cost attachment, non-loyal, companion Raven attachment, called Old Bear's Raven. The attached character gains stealth, and if attached character is Old Bear Mormont, he also gains an intrigue icon with the very important flavor text, corn.
One thing to note for later, the companion trait on an attachment's interesting. You look at it and you see unique Night's Watch attachment, you're kind of like, just look at that first sentence. Attached character gains stealth. Stealth is a huge keyword. Now, I don't know if you're bannering into Night's Watch any house right now, but just giving a character stealth is huge. The thing that concerns me is almost no Night's Watch characters can have this.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, yeah. Pretty much you want this on Old Bear.
You want it on Old Bear.
And besides that, it's pretty garbage.
I like it. I'm going to give it a 3.
That's what I originally was thinking, but the more I'm looking at it, I think it's like a 2.5. If Night's Watch becomes...
Think about the endless Chet combos you could have going with Chet.
Sure. I think if Night's Watch becomes a better banner faction, I think it's better, but the fact that like this is only good in Night's Watch on Old Bear makes it
to me, this seems like it's a card that should have come like in a year. Like it feels like a card that we'd have gotten like later on.
To me, it seems very much like the Khal Drogo weapon, where it's like you maybe put someone in your deck because it's really good when you get on a Khal Drogo, but besides that, it's kind of a.
Would have been interesting too if it said like a commander gains an intrigue icon, because maybe we get a future Jon Snow that's Lord Commander. Maybe he doesn't have an intrigue icon,
maybe.
But all right. Moving on to Baratheon, we have a big boy here, Sir Barristan Selmy, a 7-cost Baratheon character, military, power, 6 strength, and he has a lot of keywords. He's a Kingsguard, Knight, and Small Council. Renown, and he has an interrupt. When a lord or lady character you control would be killed, stand Sir Barristan Selmy to save that character.
So I'm really intrigued by this guy. I'm not sure how good he is now or how he will be in the future. Obviously, getting saves is good. You get to like just eat up claim soak. You can just defend with him, and if you still lose the challenge, you're fine. If you have a lord or lady to use as claim, you have to be careful. Like if you're like up against a Lannister deck, you don't want like if you have a chump character to kill and your opponent like a Lannister has 1 gold, maybe just kill the chump so that it doesn't get treachery.
Or he'll be like saving Selyse all day kind of thing. Where it's, I like him. It's hard not to just compare him to Robert, who costs the same and has bonkers better than him.
Yeah.
But he'll be interesting. I don't think if there's a Kingsguard deck someday, I'm thinking there's going to be another Kingsguard version of him that's going to be better to fit that. I'm interested in the Small Council trait, because if there's ever a Small Council deck out there, I see him being your 7-cost characters, protecting all your other Small Council characters.
I don't think he's as good, though, as, I'm going to say her name wrong, the Mira Mazdur.
Miri Mazdur.
Yeah, and we've seen, like, 7-cost characters that aren't lords or ladies. You kind of have to, like, play a plot just for that character.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this guy's worth that.
I'm going to give him... He's not, like, a... ×3 7-cost character.
Yeah.
You're gonna play one of them if you're playing him. I like him in the kneeling deck because you can keep him knelt. If they play targeted kill, he'll stand himself up. He'll get renowned, and if he's on the table, you'll stand him over Stannis. So I'm gonna give him a 4.
I gave him a little lower, just a 3.5. I think he's a good character, and I think there's gonna be decks that can use him well. He also isn't loyal, so there could be things otherwhere too.
Fair enough. All right, moving on.
All right, now we have a 5-cost, non-unique character with military power icon, 6 strength, called the City Watch. It's an army traded. It has ambush 6, no attachments except weapon. While you have more power on your faction card than an opponent, reduce the cost to ambush City Watch by 2.
I don't know. I feel like if he's in any other house, he's nice. He just comes into play. This is just me thinking of Baroniel. He comes into play. He maybe defends an important power challenge, and then he just stays knelt. Or maybe you keep him standing instead of Stannis because he's just one more strength. I'm not a huge fan. He's gonna get better when there's more like some army synergy that comes out or a different kind of bear deck exists. I'm not jumping like for joy right now.
Sure. It's pretty vanilla. The one thing I do like about him, and it's something that like he doesn't even have to be in your deck that makes him nice for this effect, is that right now Baratheon has 0 ambush cards, so this one gives you one. And so when you're playing against a Baratheon deck, you may have to actually take that into account, which currently we didn't have to do.
Yeah, and like I was playing Bara Fealty at the tournament this weekend, and there's a couple rounds later in the game where it's like, I got nothing. I have everything out on the board I want. Yep. I'll save 5 or 6 gold, and so you could have him ambush. I really think the best moment I could think of him where it's just like, oh crap, I need to draw cards. They're about to win a power challenge. I'll drop this guy and defend for 8 on power.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
surprise.
Yep.
But,
when they think they can.
And it's kind of a win more card because you need more power in your house to play him cheaper. But I'm going to give him a 3.
I like him a little bit more than you. I give him a 3.5. I also think we're going to get Baratheon decks that aren't all about the Neil eventually too. And I think it could be better in those type of decks.
All right, moving on to Lannister. We have a 6-cost unique character. The one guy without a tongue, Sir Ilyn Payne. He has an intrigue, of power, and 4 strength. He's a knight, and he has a marshalling action. Kneel Sir Ilyn Payne to choose and kill a character with printed cost 3 or lower.
Yeah, this guy is really good. Basically, he's kind of like a Grey Wind for Lannister that can just every turn kill some chump character that your opponent has, which will add up really fast, especially in certain decks. I'm actually thinking of this guy and being non-loyal. All right, so I'm like thinking of him in my current deck,
which is Martell.
Yep, the Martell to Lannister, since he's not loyal. This guy's actually probably better than Jaime in that deck. You keep the board on low characters, and you're just killing whatever they can play every turn. I don't want to talk about it too much, but when Valar comes out, he's even going to be better.
Oh my!
Because decks will naturally go towards lower curves, and then this guy eats them up. And also, when their opponent eventually doesn't have characters worth killing, you have a power icon, which is important for Lannister to get.
Another thing to bring up too is the Tower of the Hand. This is a very good Tower of the Hand character.
Yep, true.
If you don't want to kill a 3-cost character that turn, you can bounce a 5-cost character with him, which is pretty nice. I like him a lot. I think I'm gonna go a little lower than probably what you'll give him because I just with First Snow being so common right now, I feel like some of his targets might leave. But what if it's not? First Snow is not happening. You're killing someone every turn, and I'm gonna give him a 4. But I think he's gonna become a 4.5. The Knight trait's interesting. Yep. Keep in mind he's not a Lord. You cannot reduce him. He's not loyal. You cannot reduce him. But him being not loyal is pretty huge. What would you rate him?
I'm gonna give him a 4.5. I think he's really good, and even though like you were talking about First Snow, I think he's even good in First Snow decks because it makes it harder for them to recover afterwards. So,
and if you're playing against another Lannister deck, they're ambushing their cheap characters back in. You can just kill them right away.
I mean, it's a marshalling action, but
oh yeah, yep. Good call. All right.
All right, so we have a 3-cost location for Lannister. It's unique, small council chamber, Keen's Landing train. It's immune to events, and it has a reaction after you win an intrigue challenge. Small council chamber gains 1 power.
To me, this location is a definition of meh. It opens a new deck type. You're trying to win intrigue challenge, which is nice. If you're playing Greyjoy, we're coming up to a character that would just take this and take all your power. There's a character that Greyjoy can pay 4 gold for, and this is just blown up. Yep. I wish it was immune to like everything, or maybe just put the power on your house instead of putting it on a location. But then again, that's what makes this like vulnerable to like Greyjoy. It's 3 costs. It's competing against the better 3, the Tower of the Hand and Lannisport, which are both better in my opinion. There's a agenda that's gonna come out eventually because it's a champion card from first edition. They're reprinting all those. It basically lets you start any location you want. I can see this being that deck type. What do you think, Brandon?
Right now in the game, I think no deck will play it. I think there will
people will try it.
People may try it. Yeah. They'll experiment. No one will take it to a tournament though. I think there eventually could be like a Rush Lannister type deck that will want it, but like you said, we already have Lannister in the tower, and very few of Lannister decks currently play those, and I would much rather play those than this.
So here's something I was also thinking about. This could be, like we just saw the builder, and eventually the builder guy, this could be like a Night's Watch bannering kind of thing, where you're like reducing these expensive locations out of Lannister, which are, I believe only the draw one is loyal. I don't think Tower of the Hand and this is loyal.
Tower of the Hand isn't. Their extra intrigue is. But and
the draw one is too. But I can see this because Night's Watch can win intrigues. Even if I did play it in a competitive deck, I would play one, and then I'd be deciding between playing a character or this, and it's 3 gold.
Yeah, on a
Pentoshi turn.
I'm not gonna pay 3 gold for a card that will gain me about a power every turn. I don't think it's worth that swing.
What would you rate it out of 5?
I'm gonna give it a very impressive 1.5.
Ooh. I'm gonna go a number above you. I'm gonna give it a 2.5, and I think it's gonna be a 3 someday. All right. Moving on to Greyjoy, we have a new 7-cost character. That's Dagger Cleftjaw. He's a military power, 5 strength, and he's a loyal Greyjoy character. He's Captain Ironborn traded, and he has Renown with an interrupt. When the claim is applied for a challenge in which Dagger Cleftjaw is attacking alone, choose a non-limited location with printed cost 3 or lower. I'm playing against Lannister. I wonder which one I'll grab. Controlled by the losing opponent. Instead of the normal claim effects, take control of that location. My God.
Well, if you're playing Lannister, they're not going to play that location, so you're not going to take it. But that being said, when this guy first was spoiled, because I think he was like one of the preview cards for the pack or something like that.
Yeah.
People were saying he's like really bad. The more I look at him, the more I like him, and I think the more I will like him even more in the future. Right now, most houses already have a decent target. It'd be nice if it was you could take their economy, but that might be too good. The fact that Greyjoy has those locations that make your opponent not be able to count their strength defending makes it easier for him to get that challenge through alone. Sure, he's competing with other characters, but I do like him.
He is competing with a really good 7-cost character as an intrigue icon in Renown, which is Crow's Eye. He does something similar, but you require more pieces of the Crow's Eye. He doesn't have to win alone, but you have to hope that location is a discard pile. If they have the 3-cost location out, you have to blow it up first with
We do not
sow, things like that, and then grab it, which happens. Like, I just played Tyrell for fun against Greyjoy, and it's like, well, you took my High Garden Mander. That's game. This guy can do that on his own. Like you said, you have the boats that don't count your strength. You could just have that one boat that doesn't count your strength and maybe a scout, and you just go, he's 7.
Yeah.
He's similar to Miri Mazdur, where he might completely change the way challenges are happening in the phase.
And I mean, I could be wrong, but just because of how first edition was, I think we're going to get to a point that we are playing a lot of ×1s or ×2 of all these unique locations that do certain effects. And then in that meta, this guy becomes really good.
In my Greyjoy deck right now, I think I know some people don't run Crow's Eye, so this would be good, but I run Crow's Eye. I think I would run 2 Crow's Eye and one of him. I'm going to give him a 4.
Which is weird, because I thought I would like him more than you, but I'm only going to give him a 3. But I do think he'll get better.
Yeah. All right, up next.
All right, we have a 1-cost attachment called the Drowned God's Blessing. It has the Blessing trait. Can only be attached to a Greyjoy character only, and it has the text, attached character gains the Drowned God trait, cannot be chosen as the only target of opponent's event. And just because you get +1 initiative.
The +1 initiative is actually really nice. The Drowned God part could get better and better. Right now,
we already are having some synergy with it.
Yeah, so. Right now it might give you plus some more strength. You're going to put this on someone like Balon. The only problem is this has been officially ruled that this does not stop tiers. It doesn't stop that token that's on them.
Yeah.
If this stopped tiers, it would replace any Little Bird or Bodyguards I was playing probably.
Yep.
I don't know what events. Put to the Sword is like
Put to the Sword is the big one. Yeah, and we're gonna get more in the future that targets things. Stopping Nightmares can be good if that sees more play.
And this can make you feel more comfortable. Like you could do that all-out challenge and be like, well, he has put to the Sword, but he can't target the character I care about. And you got your saves too, but
yeah, they definitely have plenty of those. I don't like. I'm just guessing or hope. This is me hoping. I kind of hope they change the wording of tiers, just because it seems silly. Like,
if they change the wording of the tiers, my rating doubles, and I will play 2 or 3. No, not 3, but 2 of these.
Because that's what they actually needed the help with.
I'm gonna give it a 2, and like you said, if they actually did ever change the tiers rolling, I would go up to 4. But right now, I'm gonna go at 2.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 2.5. We do already see some Drowned God trait synergy, and so we may get more of that.
And the +1 initiative is actually right now, I think it's best thing. But all right, moving on to Targ. I'm not seeing too much play right now, but I'm hoping they're gonna start seeing more play after this pack. It's a Jogo. He's a unique Blood Rider Dothraki. He's loyal. He's 4 costs, military power, 3 strength. While you control another Blood Rider character, Jogo gains stealth, and Jogo has +1 strength for each character in opponent's dead pile.
Yeah, so we're already seeing some Blood Rider characters seeing play. We already seen Dex utilize Agro, however you pronounce his name. The summer one.
Yeah.
With summer plots, even though we don't have summer, really summer synergy yet. So they're only going to get better.
And he could stand this character that has stealth. He could stand
this one that has stealth. Yeah. So I do like it, and I'm liking seeing this Dothraki already being pushed early on, because I think that's one of the cooler themes that Targaryen can have.
And if you're playing Dothraki in the future, it might be a fealty type house, so I like that he's loyal, so you could pay 3 for this guy if you have fealty out. I think I'm going to go a little higher than what I've written down here. I have a 3.5, but I think he's a really good ×1 right now. I think even if I'm not doing the Dothraki stuff, I might play ×1 of him, so I'm going to give him a 4.
Yeah, I'm giving him a 4, but something just hit me, which makes me a little sad, is we are also getting Ward in this pack. So that kind of sucks.
He's not going to get stealth when he's stealing, but he's going to get that +1 strength.
I'm still going to give him a 4, but that does kind of suck.
All right, up next.
All right, we got a 0-cost event called the Funeral Pyre. It is loyal, and it has a reaction. After a lord or lady character is killed, kneel your faction card to draw 3 cards.
Burn, 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 burn. I like this event a lot. It's like we were just talking about this card earlier. I'm thinking of there's you can kill your opponent's lord or lady. That happens all the time. You might just put a Crown of Gold on them and you'll draw 3 cards.
Yep.
But I'm thinking of some fun things like you could play the Fire and Blood where it's everyone's -1 and just be like, I'll put out my Viserys. Nope, he instantly dies. I'll get rid of your attachment and draw 3 cards. Technically, you're only getting 2 cards theoretically because this is one of them is replacing this one. But it's solid. I don't know how much I have no idea. This is the hardest card for me to rate, really. I have no idea how many of these you'd actually run in your deck, but it's good. It's solid.
It's very good. I'm very thankful it has the Native Faction card part, because if you could play 2 of these because a character died, would be just silly.
And that it's loyal.
Yeah. I really like it. I'm gonna try it as a ×2 or even a ×3 to start. You know what makes burn really good is when you can burn a character and then also draw 3 cards from it. So this just seems really powerful.
I'm wondering if this gets better if you ban her into another house also, so you can get access to more Lord and Ladies. Because right now you only have 3 or 4 unique Lord or Ladies in your deck.
Yeah, sure.
If you're just playing Targ.
But I also think you're thinking about this wrong. I am definitely going to try to use this by killing my own opponent's characters.
Yes.
Yeah, you have Dracarys that hits almost all the ladies in the game and a good amount of the lords. It's a really good card.
I'm going to rate it a 4.
I'm giving it a 4.5. Nice. I think this puts Targ right back up there where they were when it was just Corset.
Well, Brandon, we're moving on to probably your favorite house, right? Martell. We have Tyene Sand, the daughter of Oberyn Martell in a House Septa. 6 gold. Intrigue power, 3 strength. It's a loyal character. The Bastard and Sandsnake trait, and has a reaction. After you win an intrigue challenge in which Tyene Sand is participating as an attacker, place a poison token on a character without an intrigue icon. At the end of the phase, if that character still has that poison token, remove it and kill that character. Sounds familiar.
All right, so first off, what I want to say is I'm very glad it's loyal, because it seems like besides Vengeance, all the best Martell cards we keep getting were non-loyal anyways. So I like
forgetting about Doran.
Sure, but I'm glad we got a good loyal card that makes you want to play Martell as the main faction. Yes, so we got a tiers on a character. I think it's going to be overhyped, and it's very good. And I'm going to just say it right now, I'm giving it a 5, but I still think it's an overrated 5. There's a lot of downsides to it. The fact that it is a 6 cost, which Martell really likes using Arianne, and so the fact that there isn't synergy there. 3 strength is tough too. but it is tiers on a character, and all Martell decks should be playing ×3 tiers anyways. So now you're probably playing like 2 of her, and so you have like 5 tiers in your deck.
And there's the intrigue icon removing attachment, and Nymeria to remove all those intrigue icons.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into the attachments with the next card, but sure, you have that stuff too.
I think this card is worth every rating point of that 5 rating. It's very strong. I'm glad it's only 3 strength. I am so glad that it's not beefy. I honestly wouldn't have minded if it was a little worse and had no power icon too. Not that you're really gonna ever use that power icon,
sure.
But yeah, this is solid. I really hope we get a new Abara at some point because she looks like a joke compared to her sisters right now.
She's good in the right environment, but yeah, she's not great.
I'm gonna give this a 5 as well. This is a solid character.
Yep.
They needed this.
I'm giving it a 5, like I already said. It's a great character, and it's even better since we don't see a lot of Targ right now. So, all right. So now we got a 1-cost attachment called Imprisoned. It's an addition attachment and opponent characters only, which means you can't set it up on your own character, which sucks. But attached character loses a military icon.
Not much to say here. I think this is the best out of the 3 icon removals.
Yep. So I'm going to add on to that. This is the best one of the icon removals. The power one is close. This one is the one. If you want to play any, I still don't know if I'm going to play any, but if you are, I think this is the one to do it. You get to shut down, like just completely shut down some characters. Like the Mountain's really heavily played. That just makes him a dead character. Jaime is a dead character. It really hurts Lannister. If you're second player, what you want to be, your Stark player plays ice, then you imprison their character that they put their ice on.
Keep in mind that none of these attachments are terminal too.
Yep, and none of them are loyal either, so maybe like there's other things there too.
I'm gonna as soon as this pack comes out, I'm gonna try a for fun deck. I don't know if it's gonna be serious at all, where I'm running like 3 of this, 3 of the power one, and maybe 1 or 2 of the intrigues. But yeah, I think it'll be fun because I've had games where I played against Martell where I'm playing like Greyjoy or something, and it's like, well, I have no power icons on any important characters because you took them all off, and then you just took Balon's military with Nymeria, and it can put you in a box with the Martell.
The power one is really close to this one if you're in a meta that's heavy on Baratheon. But otherwise, this is the one that overall in the scheme of things is the best one.
I'm going to give it a 4.
Yep, I'm giving it a 4 as well.
All right, we're moving on to neutral cards that everyone can enjoy. It's a Maester's Chain. It's a 1-cost item attachment. Maester character only, and has a dominant action. Kneel the Maester's Chain to choose a condition attachment and discard it from play. There's quite a few condition attachments in the game right now.
Yeah, it seems good. I'm a little weary of the card because I have bad memories with Maester characters. But this could see some good play, especially like if Ward is very popular. If there actually ends up being a tier 1 Martell deck that's playing all those attachment or icon removal attachments. The fact that it's a dominance action hurts it, but the fact that you're also using the chain, not the character, makes it really good too. So, but
yeah, there's not much to say here. It gets rid of Ward, which is the one that immediately, like, I feel like this and Ward coming out in the same pack is not a
coincidence.
Then I think you have to be playing the non-unique Maesters maybe to fit this in your deck, or maybe just float one of these in and maybe building orders for it if you need it. But
yeah, that was thinking, like, if you're playing a deck that has building orders and you have a good amount of Maesters, maybe you don't have to play Confiscation, which I would like to see the game end up being a point that you don't have to put Confiscation in every deck. It's like Valar in 1.0, that's like the one plot you put in all your plot decks right now.
I think it'd be really funny to put this on Crescent because you're just like,
you get 2 actions?
Even if they milk your own Crescent, it's like, so what? I'll get rid of it and then use them next turn. I like it. I like it more than I thought I would. I'm gonna give it a 3.
I'm only giving it a 2.5 right now, but I think it'll get better. Like, we already have I think it's Here to Serve.
Yes.
Yeah, so you already have ways to like get Maesters. Maesters can be a thing. So I'm giving it a 2.5, but I could see it being better in the future.
All
right, we got a 1-cost unique location called Street of Silk. It's King's Landing traded as a reaction. After you win a challenge in which you control a participating unique Lord or Lady character, kneel your faction card to search the top 5 cards of your deck for an ally or companion card, reveal it, and add it to your hand, and then you shuffle your deck.
All right, so we're going to pop up a list here kind of all the general things you can pull. There's 1 or 2 cards on here that aren't out yet, but they'll be out closer to the beginning of the next cycle. It's hard for me to rate this card. it's gonna have more and more targets as the game goes on.
Sure.
You're probably gonna win a challenge with Lord or Lady. I don't know if that's worth a fashion card, Neil, because you're looking at the top 5 cards of your deck. I've played against people who are running the Intrigue one.
The Intrigue one.
And
Street
Shadow Black Lane.
Silk. Or Shadow Black Lane.
Yeah. And they're running tons of events, and
Yep.
they whiff on 10 cards. So
Yep.
I see whiffs galore with this card.
Yeah.
But you can kind of glance at the list yourself. We highlighted some cards that we were thinking that kind of stand out. What do you think?
I mean, the
Baratheon seems to be like awful.
Yeah, the one good thing about it is you can get the reducer, guys, which is something.
Yeah.
I didn't realize like the first time I looked at it that was only 5. I assumed it was like 10 cards like all the other ones. The fact that it's only 5 cards really hurts it. 5 cards is not a lot of cards to hit.
You are getting a character though,
very
which it might
amounts.
be better than an event.
You also have to hit that character though, so
and hope it doesn't get intrigued that round.
It's good, but it's very restrictive. And like you said, Shadowback Lane I think is better, and most decks don't even run that right now. So it's hard to say.
I think the best characters it hits are neutral ones. So I think if you are going to attempt to run this location, you need to be running all 3 of those neutral characters probably, plus your 3 reducers, which you normally run. And if you're Baratheon, don't even bother playing this. Lannister, I think, and Targ are looking good on this, but there's things like Merchant Prince, which you're not going to play.
Yeah.
Stark, Tullys can maybe play it if they're playing the Kennel Masters and the Septons and Hodor and the Reducers.
Tyrell looks pretty good. Martell's not terrible because you get your Reducers and the Greenblood Traders, which you're going to be playing.
The best character you can grab is Theon, but I don't know if Greyjoy runs this. I don't know. They're not running Serial probably. They're probably running Littlefinger. They're running Hot Pie.
Greyjoy already is playing 20 locations. So.
Yeah, you cannot fit this in. What would you rate this?
I'm giving it a 2.5, and that might be too high.
I have 2.5 written down too, but I'm bringing it down to a 2.
I'll keep mine at a 2.5, but yeah.
It will get better and better and better like a lot of these cards. There could be if you're bannering into other houses, you could have a lot of options.
Yeah, you can have 6 reducer guys.
Like the Tyrell's companions are the 2-cost characters.
Yep.
So if you're also playing Lady in Waitings, Garden Terror Takers, and then Formants,
yep.
I actually think Tyrell has the most targets for this.
Probably.
And they have a lot of the lords and ladies. So, yeah, I'm gonna stick with the 2. You're sticking at 2.5?
Sure.
All right. Next, we're moving on to plots. This is probably the best art in the pack. I really love this card. Forgotten Plans. 4 gold, 2 initiative, 1 claim. It's scheme traded. With 6 reserve, plot deck limit 1 with the text, while it is not the plot phase, treat the text box on each revealed non-scheme plot card as if it were blank, except for the traits.
All right. Well, I'm actually going to let you start with this one because you have the list of, like, what are some of the key cards we got
I got it right here.
Yeah. How about that?
So some of the key cards, it hurts. I'm going to say first Nell, first Nell, first Nell, first Nell. This opens up tons of deck types because if you can play this on the opponent reveals first Nell, you can play Night's Watch now. There's a lot. You can play Targ.
You got to get good at timing it, though.
You have to get good at timing it. It hits Noble Cause. Basically, you're subtracting 2 gold from them, which could screw up their first turn. It hits Fortified, but mostly Night's Watch is playing Fortified. It hits Wardens of the North, Rise of the Kraken, Blood of the Dragon. But you're still going to get that -1, so it's still going to hit your...
In the plot phase.
Yeah. Yep. So... To be honest, those are just the noticeable ones that we saw.
Yeah, there's a few other ones, but not that serious.
Yeah, nothing huge. Like, it hits jousting contests and etc. Some of those fringe plots. But first Snow is the huge one. Plots that are immune that you're not going to hit is Game of Thrones. These are the notable ones. The Game of Thrones. Power Behind the Throne, no one plays it, but you'd be immune. King's Peace, no one plays that really, but the Long Plan, Wardens of the West.
Yep, and theoretically
this one for fun.
Yeah. You can't blink itself.
No.
So I really like this, and it's a very good plot. But actually, after looking at that list, it's not as great currently in the game as I thought it would be. Basically, this is going to be put into decks that automatically lose to first snow, and that's going to be why you play it.
Yes. I would give it a 4. But I really want to give it a 4.5 just because it's so positive and that it opens up other decks that you can have a counter now for that devastating plot. I think I'm going to have to stick with a 4.
I'm actually going to do something that I usually don't do on reviews, but I'm going to give it a 5 because I know in the future this is going to be one of the key plots. I played it in about 80% of my first edition decks, and that had way more plots. It's going to be really good. But right now, it's going to be in the decks that just lose to first snow.
All right, you want to read the last card of the pack?
All right, we got another plot here. It's called Close Call. The stats are 5 gold, 0 initiative, 1 claim, 6 reserve. It has when revealed. Move a character from your dead pile to your discard pile. Then, if there are no other revealed winter plots, you get to draw a card.
This is good. I was already playing this weekend when I go, I wish I could have this plot in my deck because he just Gregored my Melisandre off the top of my deck, and I had 2 more in my hand. So, I like it. It's a solid. The stats are solid. I love how it can draw you one
Another
more card. It brings it like I don't know if I'm gonna play this, and the plot's like, well, I might give you a card. So it's like, okay, I'll try you out. This will be a ×1 in probably like 25% or like 50% of my decks right now.
Yeah, well, we also are getting the winter and summer stuff the next cycle. So that's going to be coming up soon since this is the last pack in our first cycle. It also opens up decks that like need that one key character. So that if your one character dies, you still can use it. This is like a perfect like turn 5 plot because you're going to be low on cards. You get to put one of your key characters into the discard and you get to draw a card. So
like I said, I actually like this in Baratheon a lot because you have that red keep. So like for example, this weekend when I said my Melisandre got Greyguard, I drew 2 cards with red keep that turn. And like, well, one of those is Melisandre, so next plot I'll flip this and play that Melisandre with the 5 gold I'm getting. So I like it a lot. I think I'm gonna give it the same rating as Forgotten Plans. I don't know if it's quite as good in the future, but I'll give it a 4.
I'm giving it a 4. I just like that it opens up decks that like want to go Voltron. Like if your Dany dies, you can still play Dany and stuff like that.
All right, what did you think of the pack overall? I think there's a few standout cards. Like Ward, I think is the card of the pack. I think it edges out over Tyene.
That one's close to me for me, but I think Ward is the one I'm most worried about for the game.
I am worried about that for the game too.
Yeah.
Because you could just take your opponent's character and then ice that turn and raise the claim too. It's like, dang.
I kind of just hope that like they don't have a lot of sacrifice outlets because like worst case you could probably just confiscate it the next turn and get it back. And
Jon Snow. You just use Jon Snow to get rid of him.
Yep.
That's
So
what
if Jon Snow
do.
becomes popular with Ward as a combo, that's a 9 gold investment for them, but it's still like
you're taking their character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out in the future.
Overall, what house do you think got the best cards?
I'm
thinking either Martell or Stark overall. Probably Martell.
All right. I would probably say Martell as a whole, but oddly enough, because of where they are, I think Night's Watch actually, this might be their best pack of the cycle. They had a rough cycle, but
that's sad.
This was a decent pack for them.
What house do you think got the
no. Tar got the best of the pack. They got 2 very good cards.
Forgotten Plans is one of them. Night's Watch best card they got in this pack is Forgotten Plans.
That is very true.
Because Forgotten for first note just hoses Night's Watch.
That's very true.
Which house got the shaft the most, you think?
Probably Greyjoy because the blessing doesn't help Tears, which people initially
They get a
thought.
7-cost character though.
They did, but I think in the current game I'd rather play Crow's Eye, and I don't think you're gonna slot this guy in right now.
I might say either Lannister or if Forgotten Plans wasn't in this pack, I would say Night's Watch is I think got the lower end.
Really, I think they got 2 good cards.
Because I think Sir Ilyn Payne and Small Council kind of cancel each other out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna assume like the Small Council Chamber wasn't even in the pack, and they just got Ilyn Payne, which is a great card.
All right, Brandon, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on your regional win again. Yeah. See you guys for the next pack, and don't forget, winter is coming.
I think this guy in my current deck that I played at the regional edit.
Man, your throat's so dry. Go fill that glass of water back up.
It's early in the morning.
You should done your la 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 la. me mo.
I'm giving him a 4.5. Oh my god, I give up.
Just go.
What's your prediction for the fight then?
Prediction?
Yes, prediction.
Pain.